on our lifestyle segment this morning.
You'll be wondering why it's coming early.
It's coming early. We want to help you, really.
We want to eliminate. Sorry.
It's a one issue that affects, everybody. It's managing and maximizing stress.
I understand the managing part.
I don't know. It's maximizing.
But it's the maximizing that we've heard it said that stress is good.
Yes.
Well, a little stress is good. They even say there is something called good stress.
Yes.
And then there is bad stress.
I know some people that they thrive on the adrenaline drive. If the adrenaline is not pumping, they can't function effectively. So they're always rushing 5 minutes to things, 2 minutes to deadlines.
So they won't be creative without it. Maybe that is their own way of maximizing.
And to help us manage, see how we can manage or maximize or both our stress this morning, we have Dr. Perpetua Mbanefo. She joins us in the studio. Glad to have you coming.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, I saw your adrenaline pumping as you were coming
here. Because they had to fish me from where I was kept to bring me here. So, we had to. So but that's not enough to qualify for stress.
Oh, really?
Not really, though. Yeah, I didn't have to run a race.
Okay.
Right. Yeah.
So is that what stress is about? You have to run a race?
Not really. But the thing is, stress is a part of life.
Yeah.
Right? Even a baby is under stress sometimes, whether it's when they are hungry, when they are wailing for their mother, or a child trying to read for exams, or a
child trying to be born.
Thank you.
Yes, at that point.
That's some form of stress. But again, the thing with it is that it's a physiologic process. It's a part of life, right? So is the body trying to handle whether it's pressure or tension or challenges, right? But the thing with stress is a little bit of it for a short duration of time is very good for the body. But when it is prolonged and when it is quite heightened, then it becomes toxic. So I hear you talk about good stress before we started, but yes, there is good stress, and then stress can also be toxic, which is why we're here, really.
Not just bad, but toxic.
Yeah, it can be toxic.
Okay. Now, first of all, tell us about the good stress, because it's always good to start with good news. Tell us about the good stress and how people have been using it unknown to them.
Okay, so, like I said, it's a physiologic process. Stress is good when it's, of course, for a short period of time, and it's not so much that it overwhelms the body's ability to handle it. So we all face pressure or tension. Let's say I had to drive down from the island to get here. Let's say there was a lot of traffic, I'm sweating, I'm hot and all of that. That's some form of stress or tension or pressure. Right? Let's say you're preparing for a deadline or you want to submit a project, which you're very familiar with, by the way. And you just got...
Very familiar with.
I know. And you just got a short time to do that, right? So that is a good stress. So what happens is that the body kind of senses that, you need to do this, and, you have cortisol going and you have adrenaline pumping, and it just stimulates the body that we have either something to achieve. So you're either in a mood of flight or fight. But the good thing is that it helps you achieve certain goals in life, especially when it's short and healthy. So that's why some people say stress can make you healthier, happier. Really, it can.
All right.
When it's managed and, when it's short and not for a long duration of time.
All right. So, but when you say, stress is good for that's the good stress. And you have talked about how it helps you achieve some, short-term goals.
Yeah.
But that's in, the achieving goals thing. What about for the body itself? Right? Why is stress good for the body, even as short a term as it might be? What happens to your physiological being with good stress? Let me put it that way.
Okay, so generally, of course, we know the cortisol is the hormone that helps you drive things, and adrenaline, it helps your heart pump, so many other things happen. So it is good in a sense because all these are working together to just get the body going.
Metabolism.
Yes, both your metabolism and all that. But the most important thing is, because this is for a short term and is not toxic per se, the body is able to fuel you enough to get you through that. Okay, let me tell you, let's say they release the head of cows now. You know we'll run, right?
Yes.
So it's good because it's saving your life at this instant.
Right.
You're flying or fighting as the case may be. So that is an acute stress. Your cortisol, adrenaline and all that coming, and you're flying for your dear life. So that is safe, right? So that's why it's good in this instance. It's also good in a lot of other ways. For instance, a child, somebody that has exams to write, or you have a deadline, or you have a goal to meet. Stress enables you to become that person that you need to be to get those things that will make you better or happier or healthier.
So essentially,
for instance, exercise. Do you know it's a form of stress though?
Okay.
But it's healthy for the body.
So essentially you're saying, excuse me, that good stress is short-termed, it's focused, it's purpose-driven, and it is productive.
Yeah.
So at what point does good stress become bad?
Okay, now remember we talked about cortisol being good for you and adrenaline being good for you and all of that in the acute period. However, what happens is that when this is unchecked, you're no longer able to adapt. It becomes prolonged. That's when it becomes chronic and it gets to the state of being toxic.
Boss, some people enjoy walking. That is why we call them workaholic.
I do.
Okay.
Same here.
Oh, you are one of them. Okay.
I am.
Good. So now, but the question that I'm asking is, okay, so first of all, how does stress work, whether it's good or bad? How is it produced? How does the process of stress start? You get a task. Is that the question? The first thing, you get a task, you set a task for yourself, and then you mobilize all of your internal resources towards it. Is that the way it works?
Not essentially, though.
Okay.
I would say it's a way of life. It's part of our physiologic making, sort of. A child that is trying to stool, but maybe that's hard. It's undergoing that pressure, tension to overcome that
So
stool.
almost every human activity has a bit of stress.
It can be accompanied by a bit of stress.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, where it gets tricky or dangerous, if I can use the term, is when you can't escape the stress. Is that what you're saying?
When you're no longer able to adapt and regulate the stress, which means that the stressors are consistently present.
How does that happen?
It does.
You close at 5. What time do you close? You close at 5 p.m. No, I'm not talking about you because you don't close. You close. You get to the office at 9. What they call 9 to 5. So, if you close at 5 p.m., ideally, shouldn't your stress reduce at that time?
Okay, now let's say it's because you're assuming the person's stress is coming from their work, right?
Okay.
But there are various ways that we are put under stress.
Okay.
It can be work, it can be your environment, it can be children that are in either a war zone, famine, that are undergoing challenges, whether it's from natural disaster, it can be from illness. Chronic illness puts you in a state of chronic stress. It can be that you had an accident. It mustn't be that work has closed by 5. Okay. And by the way, some people close work from 5, but still are not off work.
Yeah.
And the events of work does not immediately terminate because you have left work. It doesn't mean the stresses have ended.
Especially since 2020. Don't worry, I understand.
But some people are very good at regulating their minds to say, you know what, I'm currently not under flight or threat. There's no reason to be afraid. I'm no longer facing that deadline at the moment. Work has closed. I can relax, breathe easy. And then they can, those hormones and all of that, adrenaline and cortisol can,
so I've heard
go down a bit.
I've heard this said, Dr. Mbanefa. I've heard people say, he's stressing me or she's stressing me. So stress can come not just from activities, but from people.
Absolutely, absolutely. Which is why, of course, they tell you that one of the number one things that makes for longevity is the quality of the relationships you have in your life, right? Studies have shown the quality. Not only will they support you, help you control your stress and all that, but they help you become healthier, happier, and a better individual.
Okay.
To undergo those stressors that you have normally.
So, Doc.
Yes.
I want to pinch you.
Go ahead.
No, I don't know whether it's stress, but I want to pinch you.
I'm built to manage
so,
that, yeah.
Let's imagine that in a particular relationship, I'm not mentioning any kind of relationship. Could be parent, child, father, daughter, father, son, mother, son, mother. It could be husband, wife, husband.
Or co-anchor.
It could be co-anchor, yes, thank you very much.
It stresses me out, honestly.
But you just feel that every time this person is calling you, you are feeling
pressure.
Stressed or pressure.
Yeah.
Pressure.
It's also referred to as pressure, yeah.
Do you avoid that person?
No, really though. But the thing is this.
And that I cannot avoid my stress. No.
The thing is this.
Toxic stress.
So the thing is this. That's why we always tell people, you need to evaluate your stressors and really identify them for what they are. If this individual is truly toxic and is someone you're having to be with or be around for a longer duration of time and is affecting your mental health, whether it's making you anxious, anxiety, depressed, or whether it's making you lose sleep, because stress can also make you unable to eat well, sleep well, and other things, then you need to evaluate, is this environment, is this work healthy for me at this point? Again, what I also advise people to do at the work is to have a chat with your team. Now they have employee wellness programs where you can talk to your, whether it's your reports or your manager, to say, hey, I am going through this. I have been going through this. I need to talk to a therapist. I think this. And then they can evaluate. Should they move you to a different department?
No.
If that doesn't work, you can't call it a day.
You have identified the one of work. But we're saying, yes. I'm asking about one that you cannot avoid.
Is it a partner relationship?
Even a partner relationship. Because your child is also, all kinds of relationships that you cannot run away from.
Okay, now that can absolutely be regulated and be managed. Let me give you an instance. So I have 2 teenagers. So
congratulations. I'm trying to imagine.
And a mouthful. Anyway, so sometimes initially I found myself running with their pace, trying to be everything and everything. I want to be a best friend, I want to be a mother, and still be a doctor to them. So sometimes when I get back from work, I'm depleted, in all honesty. I don't feel like I want to be anything.
Tell me about it.
So it's okay to check out and go to your room or somewhere and lock yourself in. That is because I have older kids and I've got support at home. But if you've got no support and the kids are small and you've got a partner, ask your partner for support. Sometimes people think I can be it all, do it all to everyone, but you're dying inside. I always tell people, fill up your cup. And that filling up your cup might not just be all the spa and pampering. It might just be taking a break from the children, from the husband, to say, you know what, I just need a me time, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Have you read the book, Making It Big? One of my friends was saying, Uju, you see, he takes 1 week a day to rest, to recharge. I say, babe, we don't have 1 week, but you can take 15 minutes of your day to evaluate yourself. How am I truly feeling? Why am I snapping at my husband or my partner? Why am I yelling at the children? Do you understand? Why am I so anxious? Why am I too angry or having outbursts? You need to evaluate that, but to do that, you need to take yourself off that environment. You can still be within the same space.
But you said something now, that sometimes some people are not able to regulate. I have been told of years ago of a woman who all of her life revolved around her child. And we also know of people, you may have met some of them, whose entire lives revolve around being everything to everyone.
Yeah.
We know of people who have failed in their relationship with their children. Now they're doing everything they can to make up for lost time. So they focus a lot on that one. Even though the children are being quote unquote stressors, they feel they owe it to the kids, to those children, to spend more time, take all of the stress and everything, while they themselves could be dying inside. It's a pathetic situations of, say, for instance, a parent, father or mother, who has a chronic condition that's, who is already dying, of that particular thing, but wants to make sure that they leave a good memory with that child while they're dying, and the child is even unsympathetic, covertly or overtly, about their situation. How do you manage those kinds of stressors? I'm just painting this, gory situations. You talked about a partner, a parent that has a partner. What if the parent doesn't have a partner and the child is a stressor? So those are things that I'd like you to look at, because you said something when we had a conversation before this program, that we can not only manage our stress, we can also maximize them. So it all takes balance, and that balance can be really difficult.
Yeah, it's quite tough to achieve. Even for myself, it's an ongoing process. And for different people, they face different kind of stress, whether it's based off of their relationship, their family dynamics, their environment, their level of education or poverty, people face different kind of stress. Now, for this particular picture you're facing, a lot of people are actually living with high levels of stress. Now, the thing is this, we need to begin to realize that until you have truly taken care of you, you can truly take care of another. And what most parents do when they try to be it all and do it all, even though they should have taken a break, is that they get to the point where they start snapping or raising their voice or getting easily irritated by their kids, when they should have said, you know what, you go ahead and play, I need to take a nap, or I need to go for a walk, I need to sleep, or something. We need to come to that place. Because what I tell people a lot is that you were you, and she is she, before you became a parent, right? So that should not be taken out of the equation, because you're striving to be a good parent, quote unquote, okay? And the thing now is that kids will recognize it when a parent, especially a mother, is happy and when she's stressed. They'll recognize it when a mother is prioritizing her well-being versus when she is overly trying to please and do that, she's a super mom and all that. They recognize it. And what we don't know now is that they take it, or what we don't think, that we think kids don't see it, but they see it. And in fact, this impacts on their life when they grow to become adults, because they see their parents doing it differently, taking time to rest. If you want to stress them, say, you know what, not now. You have to set boundaries, even with your partners, even with work. It's not all the time you're answering work mails. Not now.
I wanted to say that I saw something online. I'm sure it was meant to be a joke of some sort.
Yeah.
And so a lady walks into our office in the morning, and the supervisor goes, have you done the work that we asked you to do? He said, what work? I'm just coming in. He said, we sent you a mail. He said, oh, he sent me a mail after 5 p.m. Oh, I didn't see it. He said, but our clients require that we do clinical 24/7. He said, but you don't pay me 24/7. And then the other person goes, oh, but sometimes we are required to do work for 24/7 if our client requires it. And she goes, well, if you pay me 24/7, then I will ensure I answer my mails after 5 p.m.
That sounds like Veronica.
Yes, it is Veronica.
The thing to note in that is, beyond just the paying you to go beyond the work schedule, it's also prioritizing your time. Because again, You need to have a flow or some equilibrium that work doesn't completely eat into your personal and family life.
What if, Dr. Mbanefo, and I think I have seen this because I'm very, very observant, particularly of my friends, of my acquaintances. What if, because I sense that sometimes people use work or activity to fill up their time so they don't worry or they don't give attention to certain things that they are, quote unquote, running away from or trying to avoid. What's your, you may have also encountered that in
I'm sorry, I think that sometimes that has to do when people are grieving and they take some time off work and then they go back and say that I don't want to think about that situation, so they use work to I think it aligns with what you're saying.
So the thing is this, human beings tend to do a series of things just to either because they are afraid, they don't want to be alone, or they don't want to be with their self alone, or they don't want to think about things they don't want to think about, or they're just filling up their free time with busy work, right? And again, you said grief. Yes, it happens. Not typically peculiar with grief, but it's just peculiar to human beings and our poor attempts at being productive or being busy, right? I always say it, occupying your time with so many things doesn't make you effective, right? And it's also not a coping mechanism for stress. Do you understand? So because stress in itself needs you to understand that beyond just that present event or activity that is making you feel you're under tension or you're under pressure or you're being challenged, beyond that, you can learn to de-stress or regulate your mind to understand at this present time, this is how I'm feeling. So, and to do that, a person needs to be self-aware. You need to be mindful. The moment you start snapping, the moment you start forgetting things, the moment you start being confused, you're not thinking properly, you're not sleeping well, you're having anxiety or depression, or your heart rate is high, or your blood pressure is high. Some of these things are actually the impacts of stress. And by stress, I mean chronic or toxic stress. You see someone having hypertension, having high heart rate, and then maybe becoming diabetic, or even becoming obese because they are stressed and so they're eating irregularly or eating poor kind of
stress,
food.
Bad stress, if I can put it that way, leads to other chronic conditions.
It does. It's a major driver for poor health outcome, especially cardiovascular problem, obesity, diabetes, and so many other things.
Now you know. So, two quick takeaways. Number one, fear could be an inducement for stress, but it is not good for the body. That's one of the things you just said now, right?
Fear in itself, you need to understand why I'm actually feeling afraid. Yeah, sometimes the mind replays the old events, and you're constantly feeling like you're currently under fear.
Leading to the other thing that you said, that you need to evaluate yourself, evaluate the situation.
Exactly.
So homework for you this morning. Sit down, evaluate. So says Dr. Perpetua Mbanefo, who is a general physician. We appreciate your time this morning.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for your time.
Yes. And how about ways people should cope with stress?
Part 2. We'll see you. So we'll be right back after now. Thanks for